Hey everyone, welcome to our 13th Python tutorial, and I'm back. So I know it's been quite some time, like 3 weeks or something, but I've just been chilling, been on break. But it is time for us to jump right back in to Python. So today we're going to be covering dictionaries, and we're going to be finishing up something that we've been working on in the past couple of tutorials, which is our 4 built-in data types in Python, which once again are a list, sets, tuples, and last of all, dictionaries. So dictionaries are an unordered collection of items, and the unique and special thing about dictionaries is that they contain a key and value pair. And once again, dictionaries are primarily used to store and retrieve data. So today we're going to be working through what are dictionaries, how we create them, how we use them, and what methods are applicable to these dictionaries. So to start out, let's get into the creation of dictionaries. So before we get into any coding, it's important to understand the syntax and what exactly we use to define our dictionary. So dictionaries are declared using the curly braces, and values are separated through commas. And once again, going back to our key and value pair, in a dictionary, key and value pairs are expressed through, first we do our key, our colon, and our value, and then comma for that entire key and value pair. So I'll go ahead and write a quick program that will hopefully explain to you how we define a dictionary in Python. Let's dive right in. Alrighty, so here I've written a quick program which defines two dictionaries. We first have our data dictionary and then our characters PF, and PF stands for Phineas and Ferb, obviously. A little show I've been watching a lot of, but back into dictionary. So here you can see one major difference, and that is in our keys. In the first dictionary, you're seeing we're using all integer keys, and in the second one, we're using string keys. So what exactly is the rule for keys? So the main rules for keys is that keys must be of an immutable type and must also be unique. So you can't have two of the same keys, and you can't have keys that are lists or something that can mutate, I guess. And the other thing is, aside from keys, we also have our values. So the rule for values is that values can be anything they want and do anything they want. Values can be of any type, and they can repeat as many times as they want. So those are just some quick rules about the keys and about the values. So once again, you can see I have the key 1 represents Phineas, 2 Ferb, and so on and so forth. And then you have agent is Perry, Dr. Doofenshmirtz, and sister is Candace. So that's just a quick way of utilizing our keys and our values. So I'll go ahead and print this out, and you'll see what format these dictionaries are printed into. So right there you just see our simple dictionaries being printed out. So what did I do? Okay. So now that we understand how exactly we define and create a dictionary, let's get into how we can access elements within our dictionary. So before we get started, once again, when accessing elements in a dictionary, we use two major methods. And by methods, I mean like two major ways. And the first way is using the get method, and the second way is using our square braces to access values. So let me go ahead and get started. Right. So here we have just some quick examples of accessing elements within our dictionary. So we're utilizing the same dictionaries that we've defined beforehand. And here you can see we're using our square brackets, similar to what we've done in lists, sets, and tuples as well, I believe. So here we're just using our square brackets to access number 4, which will be Baljeet. And here we're using our get method instead and accessing Ferb. And you can see we're always only using our keys, and that's what we should be doing. So one example of this key and value pair and where we use it in the real world would be, for example, when you head off to the bank, and the PIN number that you use to access your bank account, that PIN number would be your key, and the bank account and the money within would be your value. So that's just a quick real world example of how and where we use dictionaries. So the interesting part comes towards its end, and you can see we're looking for key number 7. Once you see in our data dictionary, there is no key 7. So what occurs, and this is unique to using the square brackets, whenever you're trying to access a value that doesn't exist within the dictionary, what occurs is it's going to throw something called a key error. And that's simply because it's not able to locate the key that we're looking for. But in the second scenario, we're using our get method to look for the key pet, which doesn't exist here. What occurs instead is it's going to throw, or it's going to return none, the word N-O-N-E, none. So that's just a quick difference. And that, once again, is unique to the get method. So let me go ahead and run this so you guys just a quick idea. So you can see right here, it's doing Baljeet, Fur, Perry, Candace, but then when we get to this line, it's throwing a key error because it's not able to find key 7. But let me go ahead and comment that out. And you can see when it's unable to find pet, it's going to instead write none. So that just gives you a quick understanding of how exactly we access elements. So now that we got the basic stuff done, like creating and accessing, it's time we move on to the main stuff that we do with dictionaries, and that's always adding, removing, and altering the dictionaries within. So you can change a lot about dictionaries, but you cannot really change the keys. You can only change the values. So what we're going to go over here is how exactly we add and how we change the values. So we always use the assignment operator when adding and changing, and if the key is not present, one special thing is that both the key and the value will be added. So you'll see a little bit of that in this next program. So let me go ahead and begin. Right, so here we're doing adding and altering within our program, and you can see right here we have our NBA dictionary, and that just has the keys as the nicknames to the players, and then the values, of course, being the player names. So you can see we have Uncle Drew, the Slim Reaper, King James, and the chef, Steph Curry. So what we're doing within this program is I'm quickly using our accessing to get Kevin Durant, and then I'm changing the chef so that instead of referring to Steph Curry, it's now going to refer to Serge Ibaka. And for those of you that know, he has a cooking channel that he does on YouTube, and he makes some pretty crazy dishes, I guess. So I don't know, it's pretty interesting if you want to check that out. But basically what I'm doing here is I'm changing the chef from, instead of referring to Steph Curry, it is now going to refer to Serge Ibaka. And once again, I'm simply using the assignment operator as well as the square brackets to access the value. And next, what I'm doing here is I'm saying let's change whatever the key the beard refers to instead now refer to James Harden. But since you can see that within our NBA dictionary we don't have a key James Harden, what it's going to do, instead of throwing an error or anything like that, it's going to add this key and value pair into our dictionary. So let's go ahead and try this out, and you can see exactly what it's doing. Right, and you can see right here, it's first printing out our whole dictionary, and then it's accessing Kevin Durant, and then in this last two lines, it's changing Steph Curry to now refer to Serge Ibaka, and next, it is adding in the beard James Harden to our dictionary. So that's just a quick example of how we can add and alter the dictionary that we have. And now I'm going to write a quick program that will explain how exactly we remove elements within our dictionary. And the main methods that we're going to be utilizing are pop item, and clear. So I'm sure you guys have a rough idea of what those already do, but I'll just go ahead and explain how exactly we can use those in our program. So I'll get right into it. Right, so here we just have the quick work for removing elements within our dictionary, and you can see we have a little Fibonacci dictionary, right? 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and so on and so forth. But first we're using our pop method, and the pop simply works the same way as we're using the get method. We're just accessing our key, and it's simply going to remove whichever one that refers to. You can see 0, 1, 2, 3, so it should remove this 3 and 2 key value pair. This next one, using pop item, what we're doing with this method is that it will arbitrarily remove the last or the latest element that you've added. So here we have 6:8 as our key and value pair, so it's going to remove that when doing pop item. And the last one, obviously clear, that's going to remove all of the values that we have within our dictionary. So I'll go ahead and run this and you guys can see how that's working. Right, so we have all of this, and here it's telling us what value it's going to be removing when we're printing pop, and you can see it's removed our 3 and 2 key value pair. And the next time, once again, we're printing pop item, it's going to tell us what pair it's removing. That's 6, 8. And in the next iteration, you see that it does not have anything. And lastly, when we're doing clear, it's printing an empty dictionary. So now we've just so far covered all of the main methods that we use when accessing and working with the dictionary, right? We have our accessing elements, we're using our get method, and then here, once again, we are using the assignment operator to assign values into our dictionary. And then lastly, with removing elements, we're using pop item and clear. So now that we've covered the main methods that we use when working with dictionaries, I wanted to get into something a little more interesting, and that is dictionary comprehension. So what dictionary comprehension is it's a really concise and precise way to create a new dictionary using a loop, right? And what's going to happen is we're going to define a key and value pair, and it will loop through and form each pair. So I said think of it like popcorn, and what I mean is that key and value pair that we're defining is simply our kernel, and that for loop is, I guess you can think of it as the microwave that's just going to like fill up our dictionary. So I'll go ahead and write a quick program that will show this dictionary comprehension in action. Right, so here I've just made some 2 quick fun examples of dictionary comprehension. So you can see I've set up my key and value pair, and we just have x and then x squared right here. And what we're doing is we're going to iterate through and basically fill up our dictionary to a range of 10. And you can see right here, it's just going to print out some square numbers. For this next one, this one's a little bit more of a silly example that I designed. And we just have a robot that is sleeping, right? We have our sleepy robot. And once again, using our kernel right here, using our simple key value pair, I'm just going to set it up so that it prints out a bunch of Z's to show that it's sleeping, and this just operates in a range of 7. And then you can see right here we're using a for loop to iterate through our dictionary and print it out. So let's go ahead and run this program and see exactly what it's doing. This first one, you can see up to 10 values, it's printing out some square pairs, right? We have 1, 1, 2, 4, 3, 9, 4, 16, so on. And then we have our sleeping robot, and it's just says, shh, the robot is sleeping, don't wake it up. And then using our dictionary comprehension, we're creating a bunch of Z's to show that it's sleeping. So that was just a bunch of different aspects that go into dictionaries, and I hope you guys took something from it and learned a lot. And once again, I'll be adding my original program with all the comments to help you guys in the description of the video, and I hope you had a great time. I'll see you in the next video.